Fuel is the most important thing that you have as a trucker. And you will learn that while you're out here on the road. Now, rookie, I'm going to let you know right now. Nothing is promised here in this world. Not even the job you're driving. In this situation, you know, you probably gotten down to where you've driven as far as you can. You're dealing with a fuel solution. The fuel solution fell short. You're nowhere near the next fuel solution, but yet your gas tank is getting very low. Now I'm about to show you how to read your fuel tank. Now, your fuel tanks is broken up into 1/8. Every 1/8 of a tank is 150 miles of travel. So every quarter of that fuel tank is 300 miles. Now, sometimes, you know, it just happens, especially when you're a lease driver and nobody wants to hold your hand, so to speak. They want, you know what I'm saying, you're at the point where night dispatch is giving you the shit. You're in a bad situation. You see nothing but cornrows for miles. You might be out in the middle of the desert. It's going to take a lot for somebody to send somebody out there to put fuel in your tank so you can get to the next truck stop. And like I said, night dispatch is giving you the shit. As a lease operator, they call it, I'm not going to hold your hand. Okay. But still, you have a job to do just like I did. Things might turn out to where you just ended up with no fuel in your tank. You know, you go to the terminal, you expect for the terminal to have fuel there. You know, I can understand every now and again that they have so many trucks come through there that they use up all the fuel. But in this case, the terminal has never worked for you. Not since you started working for the company. This is the third time. 3 strikes and you're out, you know. And it's like, now you got to the point to where you saying, I can't trust the terminal for anything. But wait a minute. The terminal is where you're supposed to be able to go to get anything that you need done. But in this case, maintenance is closed. Night dispatch giving you the shit. You stuck there hoping you're supposed to be able to fuel up at the fuel stop, and you can't. Your car never worked. As a company driver, you're on a fuel solution. No. As a lease driver or owner operator, you have no fuel solution. You can fuel up wherever the hell you want. And like I said, and in this case, you might be at a terminal that's way out in the middle of nowhere. Wow. You mean to tell me that the closest truck stop is 25 miles away? Well, that's where reading your fuel tank comes in. But wait a minute. My fuel tank says E. It's not even in the red anymore. How in the hell am I supposed to know where to go? Well, like I said, every 1/8 of a tank is 150 miles. You just drove 75 miles just to get to the terminal, hoping that you can get the cheapest gas possible. And also take care of some other business. You might have a nail in the tire. You need to get the tire changed. Like I said, maintenance closed. Some truck companies have maintenance that's open 7 days a week, and they don't close early. They stay open till midnight. USA Truck was good for that, you know. But some trucking companies, you know what I'm saying, they give them the weekends off. They don't have no janitors cleaning up the bathrooms and all that. You know, they out in the middle of nowhere. Cornrows, farms around them, surrounding them. I mean, it's the place you chose to work, right? But anyways, this is where you have to, it's on E. And you know, it's not, once it got in the red, sometimes it just drop straight to E, and you don't know how much fuel you got in the tank. So now it boils down to you trying to figure out, can I make it to the nearest truck stop? That's where your calculating get to coming in at. You know, you look at your Google, your phone tells you one thing, and then when you actually pull up the map, it's further than what it said when you first. It might have just told you it was 25 miles away, but when you pulled up the map and it tells you the time and it's getting ready to give you the directions, all of a sudden it turns out it's about 35, 40 miles away. So now you're looking like, wait a minute. Sometimes it might try to lead you to a whole another city that's about 200-300 miles away, or in another state, and you have to go back and then refresh it and then go back. You know, so it'll bring up the correct truck stop. Don't worry about it. Your phone is not. It was on a fritz for a second, but once you refresh it, it'll straighten out. Google does that sometimes, and in this case, it's been doing it a lot. I know that's how I learned. You have to refresh your phone. Now, you got to get the travel calculating. Remember, when you left your last drop or wherever it is that you was at, and you get there, and you getting ready to go to the terminal, you got to remember, how many miles did you travel? In this case, you traveled like 78 miles. 78 miles from out 150, that's like 22, 50, that leaves you about 77 miles. Then you know that you drove a little bit in the E while you was there, so you figure you probably drove about 25, 30 miles while it was in the red, and then it just dropped straight to E. So now that puts you up to about 100 and some odd miles. You got anywhere, so you want to give it, even though it's 50, probably about 48 to 50 miles, you want to subtract about maybe at least 5 miles off of that, just to be on the safe side. So you figure you got maybe about 35, 40 miles left in the tank. But here's the key. Because you know what the company gonna tell you? You wasn't supposed to let it get on E in the first place. Well, hey, sometimes you run into situations where you end up on E. I'm not running across the in-network fuel stops. So I went to the terminal, expecting to get fuel. Now here it is, you got to find the closest truck stop. And now as a lease operator, like I said, you can fuel up wherever the hell you want. But you wanted to get the cheapest gas while you went to the terminal. It was supposed to be just a quick stop, bam, and you're on your way. Now, you got to figure out where in the hell you want to go. So, after doing your calculate, you figure about 35, 40 miles, and you Googled it, and it says it gives you about 25 miles. And you like, trying to weigh whether, because you just sat there and called night dispatch. The one person told you, wait till breakdown come in the morning time. You know what I'm saying? Around 7 a.m. Okay, it's about 4:30 right now. So that's about 2.5 hours. But you always want to give them time to settle in before you give them a call. You know, because they never there exactly at 7 o'clock. So you wait till about 7:15, 7:30. Wait about 7:30. So that gives you 3 hours. You went back there and took a nap. Or you could have just sat there and twiddled your thumbs the whole time. That ain't happening. You call in and they tell you night dispatch is breakdown. Well, dang, this is such and such. Oh, well, you was one that told. I didn't. Here's why I tell you that they gave you the shit. Because he just sat there and told you 2.5, 3 hours ago that he was such and such, and wait until 7 o'clock and call so breakdown can come in. And then when you call him up and he's telling you, nah, I did not tell you that. I'm the only person on night dispatch that is this name. And I'm like, and that leaves you in a situation like, what? I know what you just told me. So now he's telling you to wait till maintenance come in. So you sit down in your captain's chair and you wait. Half an hour go by. An hour goes by. Maintenance still ain't showed up yet. Now you're in a situation where, what do you do? Do you continue waiting? Because now you know you got a deadline to meet. You got a load that you're under and you need to get it delivered. They know that. The very person which you're talking to is the one that set it up. And he runs a very tight shift. So tight to where you barely got time to stop and take a shower. Well, let me tell you something about that, bro. By right, you have the right to make a stop and take a shower. That's part of your pre-plan. That's part of good trip planning. Any trucker will tell you that. But if you just run off of what the dispatch say, they'll never give you time, because all they want you to do is run and run and run. Get them loads and get them delivered when they say so, but they don't take into account that you need time to shower, deal with traffic, and all this other stuff. And then when they sit there dick you around from 4:30 in the morning to 7:30, telling you to wait until breakdown and then turn around and tell you that they didn't, they just took 3 hours of your time. Because you're waiting on them. And then another hour telling you to wait for maintenance to come in. That's 4 hours of your time that just got took away from you. That's 4 hours down the road you could have been. So now, what do? Do you sit there and continually wait? Or do you take matters into your own hand and start doing your math? And in this case, it worked out because I just happened to get a truck stop that really was about 25 miles away. I had called them before I left to make sure that there was a truck stop, because the first one said it was only 3 miles away, and turned around, they wasn't a truck stop, but I knew that this certain company has both just regular gas stations and truck stops. And so I called the next one. It came up under truck stop. So, but they turned around, they wasn't. But this time it was 25 miles away. Do your math. Your math will lead you in the right direction, whether you should stay and wait or take a chance and get on down the road. Because in this case, I took the chance, I made it. And you know when they finally called me? When I'm like 2.5 miles away and my Google is telling me to come up on a such and such ramp. I'm almost there. What the? You just not calling me? Come on. You just dick me around for about 4 hours. So it's getting so now you got to think. This is what you call critical thinking, because this is something that they never expected for you to have. Because really, if they messing around like that, it's something that's really in the air between you and your dispatch, and nobody else wants to acknowledge it. They keep telling you to trust this person. You just trusted this person for 4 hours out of your time, where you took the chance and got on down the road. Cut your flashes on and let the other people know that something is wrong. Drive slow, because the slower you drive, the more fuel economy you get. The longer your fuel lasts. I'm not telling you do 5 miles per hour like these tractors that be riding on the side of the road. It will slow you down. But I'm just saying, drive a little slower than what the speed limit says with your flashes on, and get on down the road. No guts, no glory.